Hey everybody, it's Deb. Welcome to my channel, Free Spirit Intention. And today we're going to start, or I should say, talk about the new moon in Taurus, April 27th, 2025. So it's in a couple days. Um, Let us begin. I hope everybody's doing good and everybody's having a good morning, good night, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is in your time zone. Here in Arizona, it's Phoenix time, so it is early in the morning. Okay, so the new moon in Taurus, April 27th, 2025, is about how to get conflicts that may feel unspoken and difficult to explain. And the example is you don't know why. There's something about somebody, everybody can knows what I'm saying. You don't know why that person irks you. They just do. And that is what this new moon is about. The new moons are a time for rejuvenation and manifestation. We must make room for beginnings and foolish behaviors during this full moon. I mean, yeah, it's time to, you know, begin something. Be in a like kind of like in a child's like innocence. You know what I mean? Something new, something refreshing. Okay. Be experimental. The new moon is about setting intentions and goals to manifest and inspirations to bring forth the best version of ourselves. Yeah, I mean, we want to leave anything that we don't care for about ourselves. We want to leave behind things that no longer resonates with us and is no longer a part of us. Okay. We want to be the best version of ourselves. Taurus energy is all about keeping the peace and embracing affection in stillness. And I think what I'm going to do is since I'm reading from my notes or using it as like quote a little cheat sheet. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see because for some reason I have this glare. I don't know. Okay, like I said, Taurus energy is all about keeping the peace and embracing affection in stillness. Okay, 5 considerations to keep in mind. All right, number 1, relationship energy is the most important. Deeper bonds with people you're close to. Yes, faith that loved ones will collaborate instead of being conflict. What's the word? Conflictional. Yeah. So they'll be so supportive, not argumentative or just putting everything down negative. You need somebody that is supportive of you. You don't need anybody that's supposed to be loving, honest, and everything, and they're always ripping down all of your um, things that you want to deliver to the world, or just ideas, constantly putting them down. You don't need somebody like that in your life. You need somebody that everybody needs somebody in their team that will lift them up and show them that they are special. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what family's supposed to do. Um, but let's go on. I'm not even going to dwell on that part because there's no need to, right? So, um, is the key to this, being behind somebody, um, collaborating and showing support and everything. It is this. This is the oh my gosh, you see me stuttering all over myself because of what I just read about. Family should be supportive and stuff, so it kind of just threw me for a loop there. Um, So I didn't know that it was going to bother me so much that I would stutter. So, anyways, let's continue. Instead of being conflictional, you need somebody there that will collaboration, have showing you support is the key to strengthening emotional connections, to build through willingness to listen and courage to say what's real, even though it feels uncomfortable. Now, it's not saying, be a bitch or be a nag or be, rip the person apart. Well, that's the truth. Yeah. Well, you use kindness. You use compassion. You have the willingness to listen to what they're even talking about that is upsetting them, or that direction of which they want to go. Okay, that's what you owe to your partner, and that's what your partner owes to you. Okay, and this is going to be very emphasized on the new moon. Okay, this is what this new moon in April is all about. Okay, also, on April 27th, two oppositions, Mars in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius. And Mars and Pluto will also be opposing. What does this mean? To be careful that neither you nor your other person, family member, friend, whoever that be, is overperforming, withdrawing, or just not wanting to understand each other. Just making conflicts and stuff. Don't be dominant and don't check out emotionally. Must remain present. Okay, so this is a very personable new moon, and it's going to affect partnerships. Okay, and it's telling you the things that you need to do to make sure that your partner and you are not in conflict. So it's telling you to be careful that neither one of you guys is overperforming or overbearing, um, withdrawing because one might feel that they're being attacked, or just not wanting to understand each other's what's bothering them. Don't be dominant and don't check out emotionally. Must remains present. The moon is a mirror. The objective in building mutual understanding with another person is rooted in growth. Relationships serve as a mirror. How you respond, match, or oppose their energy shows your emotional landscape. Yeah. It's okay to pause when emotions are tense, overwhelming, or overstimulated, but you need to come back to it. Just, you don't want to pause a discussion because you know that it'll be a long time before you get back to it. You gotta work this through. And this is what this new moon is about. It's about the obstacles between two people, or between a family member or your business partner, or whoever it is. Okay, now, so the objective is building a mutual understanding with another person. It's rooted in growth, but the way that you respond is the way that you respond for it. If it's like attack, it's just going to show where you really need to take the time to grow in, like that emotional landscape. It's okay to pause when emotions are tense, overwhelming, or overstimulating. And then it says, watch your mouth. The new moon makes an opposition to Lilith in the sky, which adds sharp edge to emotional exchanges. Watch your mouth. So with this new moon, it is telling you that, like my mouth can be very, very mean. Okay. Yeah. I mean, usually that happens when I'm backed into a corner or somebody's saying something that I can't really emotionally deal with. So I put up my walls and my mouth gets very, attacked with my mouth. You know what I mean? Because they made me feel this big well, nobody can make you feel anything. You have to allow them to do that to you. But anyways, I'm just saying in a heated argument, it's best to pause, take a break. You can come back to it later. Remember, once words are spoken, they can never be taken back. Ask yourself, is what about you ready to say? Is that really necessary, true, and kind? If not, save it. Save it for another time. Yeah, save it for a new time because I'll tell you what, if you don't watch what you say, a very hurtful sentence, and they may they may forgive you for it, but they're never going to forget it. And you wouldn't want a loved one of yours to always have that in their head, that cruel thing that you said. I mean, a lot of times it's hard a lot of times when one's a giver, one's a taker, but there's always time when the taker has to be the giver and the giver needs to be the taker. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be balanced, or it's just one's going to give and the other one's going to take, and the one that gives is never going to be able to take anything. You know what I mean? So, how does the moon affect the zodiac signs? So I went through and I wrote down little things to say how each of the zodiac signs are going to be affected by this new moon. Okay, we've got Aries. Outer circle is changing, finding ways to keep the peace without feeling you compromised your own values. So that's how Aries is going to be affected. Taurus, crossroad between person you were and who you're becoming. Stagnancy is a thief of triumph, Taurus. Stagnation, I should say. Stagnation is the thief of triumph. That is what it's saying about how Taurus is going to be affected. Gemini, you'll learn more by thinking less. If you're burning your way through relationships, it will leave you in ruins. That's what it's saying to Gemini. Cancer, you are a nurturer, but your feelings, who's nurturing you back? A subtle imbalance. You offer softness and get silence. When you open up, someone turns away. Protect your peace. Okay? Now, Leo, what you used to show and what you hold back, how would it feel to be seen without the need to be spectacular? Virgo, loosen your grip on control and expose the unfamiliar. You're not failing, but shifting course. You're evolving. Be curious instead of critical. So, Virgo, that perfectionist about you. It's time to really soften the grip on that. So then we have Libra. He shouldn't come at the cost of clarity. If the relation feels off, it probably is. Okay. Scorpio. The difference between intensity and intimacy. Explore the space. Vulnerability works better than control. Your truth can let someone close the truth is, can you let somebody close, but you can still keep the sense of yourself, okay? So, Scorpio, yeah, this Scorpio, they've got so many unbalanced parts of them. I mean, no offense, Scorpio. They just really. So let me read that again because it's between intensity and intimacy. Explore the space. Vulnerability works better than controlling. Your truth, your truth. Can you let somebody close? Can you let somebody in? But can you keep the sense of yourself? That's what happens. Scorpio has that problem. They If they let somebody in, they have a habit of losing who they really are. Okay. And then when they're no longer with that person, they feel like they don't know who they are because they totally changed their way of doing everything for that person. And when that person is no longer in their life, they don't know who they are. Okay, Sagittarius, reconsider your pace. Slowing down doesn't mean giving up. Tending to try to keep yourself grounded. Sometimes it's best to rest with intention. Let the body lead instead of the brain, let the body lead. What does it need to feel supportive? Make your daily life a safer place. Yeah, you're just going, 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 going. And sometimes you're just going in a circle. Capricorn, creating life, an inner child is craving more time. A creative life, an inner child is craving more time. That's for Capricorn. Do something just because you want to. Reminds it's reminding you, this new moon is reminding you joy is productive too. You don't need to earn pleasure. You need to allow. Don't mistake vulnerability for weakness. Enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. Take some time out to have some fun. Instead of you think you got to keep building or you got to go to something else. Hey, wallow in the stuff that you've already put out there, that you've taken that journey and you finally got it out there. Um, Wallow in it a little bit before you start on your next goal. Have fun with it. Be happy that you and take the time to celebrate your wins. If you just say, "Oh, just going to go on to the next thing," and that's Capricorn's nature. I mean, you can say whatever you want to them. Hey, slow down, but they always got their next goal ready to succeed in. I mean, it's Capricorns that are just hard working, hard producing. They just what they want, and they go after it until they stop. At times, when they wake up, their whole life is over. Sure, they have all these goals and everything, but they never took the time to even enjoy them. Okay, and then we have Aquarius, redefining the concept of home, shifts in your living space or family dynamics. Where do you feel safe? What makes you feel rooted? Learning that freedom doesn't have to come at the cost of belonging. Make foundations that reflect who you are now, not who you were. Yeah, I mean, it's telling you to be present now, who you are now, not who you used to be. Okay? That's pretty understanding there. Pisces, overthinking conversation, reading between the lines. Let your intentions do the talking. Not everything needs a conclusion. Not everything needs to have a fast conclusion. Right away, right away, sometimes clarity arrives when you stop pushing. Trust your inner world. Your voice is powerful. Make sure it aligns with what your spirit wants to say. Yeah, exactly. Know what if you come across something and you don't really want to say that, who you are doesn't really want to come across that. Be aware. Sometimes you don't need to find the conclusion. Wait. And maybe the conclusion has nothing to really do with you. Maybe it has to do with your partner or whatever. They have to find the conclusion. It's saying follow your intuition, follow who you are, and make sure whatever comes out of your mouth is backed by who you truly are instead of what you think that others need to hear. Because when it's somebody else, they need to find their own conclusions. Granted, it's great to have somebody to help you through it, but you don't want to be sit there and make the conclusion for somebody else, especially when it's about their inner peace. Okay. Now, I got down things that you should avoid doing on the new moon. Quitting is something you love. Yeah, that's wild. Avoid new people. Declining unexpected opportunities. Spending time with energy suckers. So let's go over that again because I thought that was quite interesting. Things you should avoid. Quitting something that you care about. All right, that's number one. Avoid meeting new people. Declining unexpected opportunities. These are things that you should not do. Spending time with energy suckers. Okay. Things you should do in a new moon. Self reflection. Course correction. If you realize that you are not going down the right path that you want to go down, or you're not going to be able to see what you want to see in doing that goal, that is a course correction. And then goal settings. Those are some of the things that you should do on a full moon. And when you go and you set your goals and stuff, that intention should be clear and specific. It should be very much a detailed, okay? And also they were saying that light a candle. That signifies our desire to bring light into our lives. Shine light. Because see, on the new moon, you will not see the new moon because the sun is reflecting the other side. So the new moon you don't see, okay? You want it to, why you would light a candle is showing the universe that you want more light into your life. And when you set your intention and when you, announce it to the universe or announce it to God, pray it to God, and stuff, and you ask Him to light up all your other new moons that are coming in your future. Okay. Okay. Now, again, these are some of the things that you can do to take, be aware of and get the energy from the new moon. And so we have number three, we begin something new. And number four is like go on a first date, plant a seed. You know what I mean? Go on a first date. Make a list. Be descriptive. They're talking about the intentions. Create a sacred space. Yeah, if it's outside, that's great. If it's inside and you make your little altar or whatever with candles and then you can design your own ritual, whatever, however you want to go about it. I mean, everybody has their own little thing that they do. It is, we're not talking about witchcraft or anything like that. We're just talking about when we set up our intentions, when we let the universe, God, um, Holy Spirit, whatever you pray to, know you want to be descriptive. You want to put it down. If if say you want a partner or something, but maybe this partner is, is 6'2", with muscles and stuff, and maybe you want him to look this certain way or her a certain way, you know. Um, anything like that, just something. The more descriptive you are, the more that God or the universe, or like I said, anything that well, the universe or source or whatever, however you want to um, describe God, that the more descriptive, the more easier, because you're like putting in an intention is like putting an order in to God, universe, whatever, and telling, this is setting an intention, but it's actually, putting in your order. So it can be, by the time the full moon comes, hopefully that you'll have some idea if it's coming to pass or not. So, so it hasn't been, oh, it's almost been as long as my regular readings, but this is the reading on the new moon in Taurus, April 27th, 2025. And I appreciate your time. Peace be with you all. Until the next time, guys, have a good one. Bye bye.